the new and untouchable Mgtow. This is your host, Solo Mission, back on here with the audio release as we talk about the pains in family when you have a breakup or a relationship ends. And when you talk about the pains that you go through in these relationships, but it can be far wide and reaching. For people that are married, have kids, it's hard to explain to the child or children, especially if they're young, what's going on at the moment. In that instant, one would sugarcoat what's going on so the child wouldn't feel that pain, even though we know that we're telling that child a lie in that situation and that moment. There are many situations out here of family breakup and heartaches once a marriage and a relationship ends. There are many men out here, before they went Mgtow, tried so desperately, spent many years, went to counseling, group therapy, trying to save their relationship so the kids and the innocence could be protected. There are many and countless of situations out here where men really tolerate a lot in relationships. And so when men enter into a relationship, it is really a man giving his all, not only to this particular woman that he found he wants to settle down with, but for the future of their kids together, and trying to build a solid structure. To see these kids ripped out of the both parent home, the kids having to choose between the mother and the father, picking and choosing sides, it can be very painful. Any man, and I would hope any woman, wouldn't want to put their kids through that, but we see these in many relationships once they end. In society, in the world as a whole, there seems to be a collective resentment towards men who show and display any anguish, any disappointment, hard times getting over a situation. We are to quickly remove emotions from our being. We are told that we are to be men. Men shouldn't cry. Men should move on. There is no situation that a man must feel any true pain when they see that their whole life of working and building a solid foundation, not only from himself, but for the woman he chose to be in a relationship in and ultimately marry, being ripped apart in the court systems, seeing his kids' life, all the emotions that ties in, being a disappointment to himself, that go through pain of trying to keep the glue together in relationships and marriages. Through all the lies and infidelities in a marriage, a man still stick in there sometimes and overlook all that he had done with in the past with his girlfriend, in a relationship, or his wife. Many men stick in these relationships hoping, masking the pain, trying to work, never really wanting his marriage to end until he gets to a point where this is the end. There's no way to fix this here. We must go. We must separate. We must explain this to the child or children, what's happening now. Men, we don't expect society to understand what it means for a man to settle down with one woman and truly give his all to that woman, going to work, having the thoughts of building something together with his woman, the woman he cherished, the woman he loved, the woman in his marriage vows that he vowed to be honest and true, faithful, to then have that woman come back and say, I want a divorce. I've been cheating on you. I'm unhappy in this marriage. I'm pregnant by another man. You don't satisfy me anymore. I'm unhappy here. Men go through a lot in these marriages and relationships that never get talked about. See, society likes to sweep this part under the rug and quickly tell a man, you must get over that. That somehow women have it harder out here in the world and in relationships. You cannot cry and feel any pain no matter what you're going through as a man. And so when men get to this point, of course they feel the rage. What man in his right mind would want to have his family ripped apart? Everything taken from him. Had to go to court and fight battles after battle, trying to get his kids back, trying to get a sense of solid foundation back, get his finance back in order, and thus still keep a smile on his face and try to move on. The sad part about this is some men may never recover from these relationships and or marriages, the letdown and the pain that it brings, and the disappointment that they may hold within. Some men may turn to alcohol and drug abuse, form some kind of isolation from friends and family by seeking to track down his former lover, girlfriend, or ex-wife to inflict some kind of pain in the form of physical attack or ultimately murder and suicide. These sad outcomes are real. So for many men who remove themselves from these relationships, find Mgtow as a voice for their frustration, a release channel for the tension and the rage that they still may have. It's a therapeutic expression that every man's unique situation collectively brought together, as many men can attest to different experiences. Although unique, the similarities are plenty, which allow men to resonate with one another in the healing process of moving forward. We value Mgtow, or men going their own way, as a voice for many men who didn't make it. For many men that put up with a lot, who really gave their all in relationships. The true test of a man's strength while battling emotional pains and the feeling of hitting rock bottom after a relationship or marriage ends, while simultaneously working on his triumphant comeback, is the reason why many men go Mgtow.